And the field of Democratic candidates is pretty crowded in this race. You're the only Republican, though. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, we got off to a really strong start. I think back in October when I announced I wanted to get into the race early, because Brittany, at the end of the day, if I believe I'm the right guy for the job, then I'm gonna run for the seat. If I think we have good ideas and we can bring positive impact to the district, I wanted to get in. I'm a football player at heart. I played in college, and so the old mindset to me of it doesn't matter who my opponent is. It matters about what I'm bringing to the table and what I can do for people and doing my job. So I couldn't control how many folks on the other side are jumping in, but I believe we have the right ideas. I believe we have solutions for people. I very much understand what people are again dealing with in this district. When you talk about affordability, when you talk about the feeling of either the system is broken or it just has never worked in the first place. And I think we have like real, practical, common sense solutions to fix that.
And when you're talking about the systems being broken, aside from affordability and perhaps home ownership, where do you identify those pain points for people? And how do you think that your approach here would be different than Mikey Sherrill or the other Democrats in this field?
Yeah, I mean, look, you're absolutely right. Affordability is across the whole spectrum. I mean, home ownership is one part of it, but there's so many other elements that play into it. Education, and the ability for people to get degrees that are impactful, that are going to deliver an ROI. That's a topic that I think is very has evolved tremendously and needs to be looked at much more closely to figure out how can we get people degrees that are impactful and set them up for success in their careers. Obviously, energy has, and you heard energy as a major topic in this gubernatorial race. Newsflash, it's going to continue to be. It's going to continue to be expensive for a long time here, and we need to work towards how we can become more self-sufficient from an energy perspective. So, like, there are a number of issues that stack up. But if you ask again how, you had asked about how we're going to differentiate from our opponents. It goes back to something I had said earlier on. I think you're going to hear a lot about affordability from the other side because, I think people understand that affordability in New Jersey has been an issue for a long time. Democrats have been in control in New Jersey for a long time. So I think you might see a little bit of a correlation there. But again, I think the answers you're going to get, the solutions you're going to hear on the other side of the aisle is that we need more government, more dependency. I mean, and look, you're seeing the future of the party go there with just what happened this most recent election right across the river, right in your neck of the woods in New York City with Mayor-elect Mandami. The party is moving towards bigger government, socialism, and I think some dangerous, slippery slope ideas that are bad for job creation, bad for affordability. But that they're going to suggest that that's the answer to our affordability issues in New Jersey. And I'm going to tell you that we need less government. We need government to work better and do the simple but important things the right way. We can do things like get out of the way of taxing you to death when it's your first home purchase, giving you a little bit more of a leg up there. But getting government out of the way and impeding you from being successful and doing what you want to do is something I believe in. I think my opponents are going to tell you the exact opposite.
And how do you get government out of the way? What would that really look like? Let's say you win the seat.
Yeah, I mean, it starts by I think getting back to basics, right? Funding the things that we need to do. It's funny at the local level. We always talk about it with our budgets a lot. Is this a nice to have budget or is it a need to have budget? And I think those are tough conversations to have. But to get those things done, to really examine things and get government out of the way, make it a little smaller, make it more effective. It's going to take what we talked about a little bit ago as well. It's going to take working together. It's going to take bipartisanship because if we can't come to the table and hash things out and find ways to get things done that's good for the people in my district or good for the people in your district or good for America overall. If we can't work together to do that, it is going to be hard to make any real progress. When you have a stalemate, it's going to take coming to the table and finding solutions common sense solutions that people can get behind to help us, get the role of government where it needs to be to allow people to be successful.
And this isn't exactly bucking any trends, but usually when there's a party out of power, when they come back in the midterms, they're more popular. And a recent Economist YouGov poll doesn't have the best news for Republicans. Democrats are up 6 points in a generic congressional vote. More Americans believe that the country's heading in the wrong direction, opposed to not. And President Trump's approval rating is hanging right now at about 38%. What do you make of those data points? Does that concern you as a Republican running for a congressional seat?
No, it doesn't, because I think when people vote for their congressional representative, it's something that's very close to home. And I think people, one stat you always hear a lot, right, is people don't like the work that Congress is doing, but they love what their congressman is doing, right? Because it's their guy, right? So, or it's their girl, right? They value the role and the accessibility of having their representative in Washington. And so, I think we have a great opportunity in this special election. Especially as the Democrats are going to, and we're already seeing it in this whole primary cycle. You're going to see it. They're just going to bash against the president. They're going to, attack. They're going to focus on everything that's going wrong in their perspective, but they're not going to come to the table with any solutions. I'm here to tell you, our platform is going to be about working hard for people. It's going to be about working together. My foremost goal is to get things done for all of the people I represent here. I think that's what people want at the end of the day. I think that the vast majority of Americans are whether where they're at politically. I think they're tired of rhetoric. I think they're tired of the divisiveness. I think they just want people that are going to actually get to work and try to do some good and roll up their sleeves and work for them. And so that's the kind of campaign we're going to run. And I think that message will resonate across Republicans, independents, Democrats, everyone here in the district.